Today we're doing a 25 by 15. As you can see here, we have tiles on top of a flat roof. 25 by 15 being the size of the roof, obviously. We got a tiny little drain here that's blocked a little bit. Okay, it's not that bad, it's just nasty. Oh god. So here's what the roof looks like right now. The reason we're here is because we're dealing with the leak. And so there's a leak coming around here somewhere. Don't exactly know where. But we're here to replace the roof, make sure that the leak never comes back. A couple of the hard things we have to deal with is the air conditioning unit being here. So it's a little tough. We have to make sure we don't break the line set or have any issues with it. All right, we're just about to start. Isaac's here. Isaac's putting on his salsa music because that's what Isaac does. Let's see how these tiles come off. Let's see it. Yeah, okay. That shouldn't be too bad. It's pretty wet in there though. So I don't know where the roof starts, but you know, once we figure that out, we'll let you guys know. Alright, what we got?
Okay, go ahead.
What we got here is we got another tile underneath it, like a tile over a tile. Oh god. Well, that just made the stripping job twice as big. Okay. Hey Isaac, let's take off these couple tiles right here.
Okay.
Let's take everything off in this corner and let's see what happens.
Alright, sounds good.
Alright. Hold on, Isaac, hold on.
Yep.
So as you guys can see here, there's two different layers of tiles. We have this like porcelain tile that's probably that came on after. They glued directly on top of this stuff with a little bit of like a moisture vapor barrier or something in there. It's tar, so I don't know what this is. But it's not meant to be a roofing material, I don't think. Not for this application. Oh shoot. This is that basically for a shingle roof. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, look, and then look at this. Look how this is falling apart, so wet. My hands are wet. Everything. It's like, this is crazy. Look how bad this is right here. Look at that. We didn't even chip that tile coming out. So, this is the waterproofing layer, I think, that they have on top of the actual roof itself. This is gummy stuff. I don't know what that is, but we're going to try to move most of it if we can. So we're going to clean up the roof. Anyways, that's the plan at least. That's the problem. So, let's get to it. Hour and a half later. It's only me and Isaac today because Vinny's being a little bitch. So me and Isaac are holding down the fort while Vinny's just having a fun day. Well, we got a job for you today, Vinny.
Yeah.
When you get back, you're gonna have a big job for you.
Come here.
Yeah, come on, buddy. So this is what it looks like now. As you can see, everything's been torn up. We still got to get the waterproofing layer off, which is gonna be fun. That's our pile of tiles. So that's gonna be heavy. Trying to haul that through the entire house all the way down, down 3 flights of stairs, whatever. We'll make it work. It sucks, but whatever. So now we gotta get that part done over there. Once that's done, we can move on to chipping off the last couple tiles here, scrape it all, get it nice and clean, and we can work on getting that waterproofing layer off. So hopefully today we'll get it clean. All right, I'm back. I just been cleaning up a little bit. Guess who showed up? Special visit from the Hilti guy. Hold on, let me close the door.
Oh, come on, no recording.
Why? Why? That you actually work? Come on. That you actually do things? While your parents see the video, they're gonna be like so proud of you. Like, oh, my boy's like getting dirty in the dirt. Working in the crater in the bomb shelter. My boy. Look what he brought. He brought goods. Look at him. Hernan, top salesman of Hilti. The only guy who could ever sell me tools. Without him, we wouldn't have shit. So he brought us a little gift. A little tryout. Hopefully that makes our life a little easier. Okay, this took us a little while to get up, but let's get back to work. Let's see how this thing works. Let's try it out. Okay, the Hilti rep just left. Hernan, the best guy ever. He totally hooked us up with this new TE70 with a big scraping bit. And what we're doing is we're scraping off this waterproofing layer so we can actually glue straight to the concrete or screw straight to it, but it gives us a nice clean surface. So it's doing a pretty good job. It's coming off pretty easily with that thing. Without it, I don't know how we would have done it. Hernan, you saved the day. Thank you, my friend. We would be eternally grateful to you because without you, it would not have got done. So you can see we got this little scraped here, and the nice thing about that is that it's going so much quicker. I did that in like 30 seconds. So yeah, it's a little loud, it's a little hard to use, a little heavy, but at the same time, it's easier than anything else. So let's get to it. Let's get her done. Here's a little interesting thing we're doing here that you guys might want to see. So we stripped the most of the roof here, and then what we're coming up to is someone poured this concrete thing here. I don't know if they meant it so it was like an easier step into the building or something. I just don't understand what happened there. I don't get it. So what happened is they poured this on top of the old tiles there, and in the back there was like a little skirt tiles going around the outside. So now we're just chipping it away, getting rid of that concrete. We're gonna get rid of everything. You know what? We're starting from a nice, clean, fresh slate. So that's what we're doing now. It's a little hard, you know, but me and Isaac are doing it. We're getting it done. Tomorrow's gonna be cleanup day. That's the end of day one. It's time for us to go home. We didn't even work that late, but we got everything stripped out. We have a pile of rubble that's left over. That's only like a quarter of it. So the majority of the stuff's already down on the ground. And that's what it looks like. So that's where we're at. We even got rid of that bump there, that nasty step thing that they had poured in place. That concrete bullshit's gone. But now the door doesn't have a pan. And it doesn't sit on top of anything solid, so the door is gonna have to come out. So that'll be a project for either tomorrow or Wednesday. Take out the door. I gotta take out the drain. Hopefully we get most of the roof done tomorrow. That's all I can say. All right, guys, till tomorrow. All right, guys, it's day 2. We're back. Vinny's back. Sasquatch is back. Give us a little like Sasquatch sound. Yes. Oh god. What do you think of the garbage we took down, Vinny?
It's definitely a lot of work. Tiles.
You're glad you missed yesterday. Oh, thick bad boys. That's some shit, huh?
On top of other tiles, they're like bricks. Very heavy. At least 20 pounds.
Damn.
At least 20 pounds.
We only took 3 of them at a time because we were like, the trips we were making were crazy. Like we were doing a lot. At least that's what it looks like in the garage. But so we have all our insulation here. Everything's ready to go. We're just gonna clean off the roof, scrape it, start putting down the roof. That way we're waterproof, and then I'll handle the drain tomorrow with the door. Hopefully, if I do that both, they'll both take me about half a day. But anyways, here's what we're gonna do. Let's go inside the house. Isaac, how do you feel? How you feel about yesterday?
I don't know, like the king of the kingdom, but...
King of the kingdom, okay.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. Me no hablo inglés, sorry.
Okay,
busy,
okay,
busy.
sure.
Pussy.
Okay, whatever that means. Said he's busy, okay. I didn't hear that, but okay, whatever. It's fine.
You know what, be honest? I feel tired.
I know, me too. My legs feel tired, like my legs feel sore. My forearms, my forearm right here, like this one, This one is like, I can feel it right in that little bulge there. My hands feel like they don't want to grip anymore. But I like to complain, so what am I gonna do?
Let's keep going.
Let's keep going. Okay.
Isaac on scraping duty.
It's really loud. Go, you're good, you're good. When we're done scraping, this is kind of what it looks like. We got a ton of this laying around, so this all gets bagged and in the garbage. And then after that, we can start gluing our ISO straight to the concrete. So that's what we're gonna do next, but that's after lunch. So let's take lunch. We'll come back refreshed. We're not gonna come back refreshed, but at least we'll be ready to put down ISO. The next thing we're gonna do, or the plan here, is that we're gonna start laying our insulation down this direction because we're gonna pitch the whole roof this way. And since the deck has a slight bit of a pitch to it already, that's gonna help us with, when we pitch it's gonna be even a little bit more extreme. This is gonna help the water flow a lot better, even though it's already pitched. And we could technically just go straight to the concrete deck with like a separator, like a 1/4 inch ISO or something, and we would be fine. But what we're gonna do is pitch it because, well, for a little extra money, it gives us a lot more drainage. So, next thing we're gonna do here is, now it's been scraped, we're gonna like lay our first couple sheets 4 feet from the wall and then work our way back. Once we work our way back, we're gonna come back, and that's gonna be the interesting thing. We're gonna cut little X panels. I'm gonna show you how I do that. Loud noise in the background. So when we cut the X panels, from there we'll pitch it towards the drain so that it flows downhill and then to the drain. And then from there, maybe tomorrow we'll replace the drain. So at least that's the plan. All right, so what we got here is Isaac is gonna screw the, we're putting the board onto the wall, and that way we can separate the roof from the wall. That's what we're doing. I'm cutting these pieces now. He's gonna anchor them on, and then we're gonna start laying our roofing material out. Once we lay our roofing material out, then we can start laying the roof on top. Well, once we do the cover board down, we can put our roof down. So that's at least the idea. Now Isaac's gonna do that while I cut the pieces. And then we should be out of here today with hopefully a roof on. ISO just got put down. We're 99% there, so we just did all this. We started from an 1/8 inch pitch all the way through. Now here we're at the back side. You can see it's a lot thicker, so we got our 2 inch down first, and I got glued. And the next thing we're gonna do is I gotta put on a little piece here, and then I gotta put a couple more pieces in the back here. And then our tapering is pretty much done, but then I gotta build a cricket. So I'm gonna build the cricket over there. I'm gonna glue it in, and then we can put our 1/4 inch cover board on top. And the cover board is to protect the insulation from being damaged, from being stepped on for the next 20 to 30 years. So at least that's the idea. All right, so I'm not going to explain tapered ISO again to you. Everybody knows about it now. But the reason we're gluing the roof down, we're gluing the insulation down to the concrete deck. That's why we chipped it so well and got all that goo off. And the reason we're gluing everything is because it's a concrete deck, and when you have a small area like this that's banded with so many walls, it kind of makes more sense to glue it than it does to screw it. And screwing into concrete is very hard. Even if you use like Tapcons, like masonry anchors like this, it's hard to do. If you're really thin and your sizes of your foam don't change, you could easily like put, you know, masonry anchors in. But in this case, we only use masonry anchors on the wall, and we're about to glue our cover board on top of our foam, so the foam will never deteriorate. That's the goal for today, is to get the roof somewhat on, if not completely on. But yeah, let's get to it.
Day 3. Let's go check out what Andre and his associates doing. What do we have today? There's Andre, Isaac. We lay down this tarp down, plastic tarp. We got the vacuum going on. So Andre, what are we doing today?
I put it backwards. Today, we're cutting a hole for a drain.
A drain, huh?
Exactly. Now we get to it. We'll cut it. All right.
Very interesting.
Yeah, we'll get to it. Let's hold the build it back. It's day 3. We just cut the hole inside the ceiling. That was pretty exciting. We were like maybe like 6 or 8 inches off, which was not too bad. Today we're going to move the unit over a bit as much as we can. We're going to take out these pieces of ISO that we loosely put in yesterday. And then we're going to remove the old drain, put the new one in, and then connect it inside the ceiling. And then well, at least that's the plan. So that's what we're going to do now. So let's get to it. Get it done. We're gonna connect the drain and then put the rest of the roof on. So at least that's the plan. All right, the first thing we're gonna do here when we're replacing the drain is cut out the old one. So right now we have this like tiny little 3-inch drain with this tiny little flat cover, and that fits in like so. So we took it out, I vacuumed it out. Now I'm gonna cut around the area and get ready for the new drain. Once that's in, we'll be able just to hook it up, and then hopefully we'll be good. So that's what we're gonna do now, so let's get started. What we're doing here now is I'm having Isaac cut a bunch of holes in a circle all the way around. I'm gonna chip out the concrete, and what that'll do is let our drain sit completely flush with the deck. This will come up and bolt to it, and then this will receive this. So the deck receiver will receive the drain, and that way we can mount it pretty flush and get it pretty low to the deck and not have it stick up like a 1/2 inch to 1 inch. So at least that's the plan. I always say that because I never know what's really gonna happen, but he's gonna get started now. It'll be done. Just to give you guys an idea of the drain that we're working on right here, we're working with a 4-inch cast iron pipe, and this is the tiny little drain they had. So that's the strainer, and that's what is basically the sump that leads into the drain. Anyways, so what we're replacing with is this bad boy right here. So for comparison, that's the comparison. And for a strainer, oh, look at this. Look how big that strainer is. Compared to this. That is some shit right there. See, this is the reason why we do this. Is because for the price difference and for the little bit of cost that a drain actually costs to install, we might as well do it the right way instead of doing it just like an okay way. But anyways, let's get this drain installed. right next to it. And here's the crazy thing. So that's the hole we cut from the inside, which wasn't too pretty, but it's not a big deal. Look at that. Look at that pipe right there. It was loose. I wiggled the pipe loose, and so there's stuff inside that pipe. I wonder what it is, though. It's like dirt. Oh, that's nasty. Oh, alright, we'll whacken that out. Look at that. Oh. Ugh. Like nasty stuff. Oh, yeah. But that's the inside of something may have nest over there. That pipe is nasty. Okay. Little update. That pipe clamp was actually loose because I just wiggled the pipe out. So it's probably a good thing we caught that. I don't know. The next thing we have to do here is put the drain with the coupling on top of the cast, so it goes no hub to no hub, cast to cast, strap to strap. We're pretty much there. So that's what it looks like. We obviously cut the hole a lot bigger, and the reason we did this to fit the new sump, which is that indented part of the drain, into the building. And then this receiving plate right here will anchor onto the concrete and support it. So we don't need to keep a small hole or be very perfect with it. We just have to get a round hole that will let the sump through. And then we cut the steel deck. So the concrete substrate is pretty thin. It's like 2.5 inches, maybe 3 inches max. And so we cut through that. We cut through the steel deck, and now we're ready to install the drain on top of this beautiful cast iron, no hub, loose fitted pipe. So that's what we're gonna do now. Time for me to go back inside and have someone stand on top of the drain while I tighten all the fittings, and I can anchor down the drain. So what we've just accomplished is we've put the ISO in facing that direction. We put our cover board on, we cut the hole, we made it look pretty good. Now it's time to take that piece of TPO we cut out before and now install it. And the reason we didn't glue those two pieces in yesterday is because I still had to do all the drain work, but I wanted to get the majority of the work, the majority of the roof covered up before we got any further. So the next thing we're going to do is put the little piece of TPO in, weld it in, get it ready, get it done, and then we can start on the walls. So that's that.
Wish on every shooting star that you still come back to my heart. Can you see how we've come so far? Hope you still come back to my heart. Didn't mean to hurt you bad, only did those things so that I could make a little room for us. I wish on every shooting star that you still come back to my heart.
Right now we're just doing the walls, and what they're doing now is they're pre-creasing the material. So we crease it so that it doesn't come back to its original shape, and that way it's easier to put on the walls. Now they take a little bit of heat, roll it down with the roller, and then it stays like this shape, and then we put it on the wall, and it makes our lines super crisp. And I gotta give the guys credit, it's really hot out today, and on top of that it's bright, and it doesn't pick up on the camera, but it is really bright up here. It's like you almost can't even look. Like sunglasses are not even enough. Like it's super bright. So everybody's like just kind of gritting their teeth and pulling together here so we get this thing done and waterproof, because we got rain coming in about 2 days. So let's get it done. Here we are at the home stretch of getting the roof done. The only thing left to do is weld the seams, like you can see them doing now. Isaac's guiding the robot, and Vinny is rolling behind it just to be that cheap insurance. Expensive insurance, whatever. So anyways. The nice thing about this robot, it runs at 4.2 feet a second. No, 4.2 feet a minute. and it's self-propelled. The only thing you have to do is guide it. So it's nice. You set it on the seam, guide it, and someone rolls behind it, and then the seam is bulletproof. As long as you do a test well ahead of time.
Wish on every shooting star that you still come back to my heart. Can you see how we've come so far? Hope you still come back to my heart. Didn't mean to hurt you bad, only did those things so that
Today we're back in the Bronx, and what we're trying to do here is raise the door. Well, hopefully we can raise the door, because see right here, we just taped it temporarily, and the next thing we need to do is actually pull the door out of the opening, waterproof, and put the door back. So we're not exactly sure what to do about the door, because we really would like to move the door higher, because right now this is too short. We're only about an inch off the ground, and we would prefer to cut the bricks up top and then move the entire door upwards, but that doesn't really look like an option right now. So we're gonna do some investigating, pull out the door, see how it's done, see what monkeys have done, and then once we figure out what they did, we're gonna fix it. Let's get to it.
can make a little room for us. I wish on every shooting star that you still come back to my heart.
So we just had the fight of our life, because we had some amateurs put in a door, and that was really hard to take out. So they put little pieces of 2x4 to bring it up from the level of the floor, or to the level of the floor. Then they put a piece of AZEK underneath the door and glued the door to the AZEK. And then on top of that, there's no door pan, there's nothing. And the AZEK runs underneath the 2x4s. So they put 2x4s on top of AZEK. So that's another thing. Here we are. I got the door raised quite a bit, and I've started roofing it in, and so I'm going to do the finishing details, put the door back in. We already shortened the door, so that's something. That was a job. So we shortened the door. I'm going to reinstall in a little bit once I get it waterproofed. What I mean by putting a pan in, like I said before, is to bring this into the building. Normally people start short, like stop short right there, but we're going to bring it up and in, and that way if the door ever leaks or water ever gets through the door, doesn't rot out the door still, and then it leaks out towards the outside of the building. Well, at least that's the plan. So let's get to it. Let's get it done. All right, I'm finally done with the door. The brick molding still needs to go on the outside around the perimeter, but the door is done. It is shorter, and we have enough clearance between the roof and the sill, and so we won't have any more leaking. So when I come back next time, I'll bring some brick molding, brick it up, and then it's on to tiles to cover up this roof. This beautiful roof that I just put down, we're gonna cover it with black tiles. The white roof we put down, we're gonna cover with black tiles. So anyways, this is what it looks like. A little bit of a mess. I'm gonna clean up, do a couple patches, make sure everything's good for the rain that's gonna come tomorrow. And then I'm out of here. And then I'm done with this roof and we're on to the next project. Well, tiles are eventually gonna have to be done, but that's next week probably. And then some brick molding, but as it goes right now, things are pretty good. It's about I can feel the rain is coming, it's chilly now. It's a beautiful day. It's time for me to get done here and go home because it's Friday. All right, so at least you guys saw what I was doing here. I did some patches. This was actually quite a tough job to do because of how tight the patches are to the wall. So I'm gonna finish up all the little details there, get it done 100%, and then time to go home. Anyways, guys, see you guys next time I decide to film on this project. And we're back. This is the end of it all. So we were here a little earlier, and I had the guys bring up the tiles, and that's kind of boring, so I didn't really film that. But little exciting thing here is like we got this so when you work on TPO roof and you've cut a bunch of edges, you're supposed to seal all the edges, and that's what we did here. This is called ultra ply clear cut edge sealant, low VOC, and what that does seals up the edge. I think it's for, there's a fiberglass reinforcement liner that they don't want it to deteriorate, so I think you're supposed to seal it. And we didn't have a bottle, so I sent one of my guys out to get a sriracha bottle, and you just basically put a little bit of it on each seam, and once you're done, the roof's done. We gotta clean the seams too, but so anyways, we've done that. Everything's done. This is what the roof looks like now. We got our brick molding, we got our saw. Everything looks pretty good. It's kind of nice. Everything turned out. That looks pretty good. Everything looks nice. Can't say that enough, but it looks pretty good. So let's get the door trimmed out so we're ready for tiles, and we'll start installing the tiles. All right, guys, everything's finally done. The door's been trimmed out. We just got a caulk around the door, but we're gonna do that last so it doesn't make a mess on us as we're going in and out. The next thing we're gonna do is clean everything off this roof, and then the job is done. But we're still here because we got a lot of garbage to load, and on top of that, we have tiles to put down because that's our next job. So I'm gonna have them start bringing me out tiles. I'm gonna start laying them down and kind of get a feel for where they're gonna like land at, and then that's it. Laying out tiles, get this thing tiled out so we can go home. Durastrong pavers, what's it all about? It's not what you're thinking, is it? But I'm gonna tell you anyways. Here we go. So this is what a Durastrong paver is. They say it has decent drainage underneath it. Made from recycled tires. It's tongue and groove kind of looking thing, or I guess groove and I don't know what it's called. But anyways, it locks together. You see there's a flange on each side that locks into the other one. And that's how it's supposed to work. Well, at least that's the idea. And then it locks, I guess, into the bottom of the tile here. It locks there as well. And like holds it together so you can take them off when you need to or put them back on. I know the manual says you're supposed to glue them, but no one does that. We're not going to in case there's ever a problem with the roof or an issue of some kind. We could take it off, we could service the roof, and then put them back on again without damaging them. At least that's the plan. It's my first time doing this, so we'll see how it goes. Lunch, we laid all the tiles, and now we're taking them all up again and we're relaying them. And the reason we're doing that is because when we come to the finished edge, and so if we take a full tile from there all the way down to here, we're left with about 1.5 inch space right here. And the problem with that is you can't cut 1.5 inch piece because it'll be too small. Like you'd have to glue it in and it might come out. So now what we're doing is we're doing all the extra work where we're cutting all of them down by 10 inches. And then the next piece we're gonna do is we're gonna make a 12.5 inch piece, and that's gonna fit in the sidewall. So that's the plan as of right now. And we've cut a couple tiles, so there's no going back because we do not have any spares, and I think we're gonna be short. But I didn't order the material, so it's okay. It's not my problem.
I don't know. Me no habla inglés. It's not my problem.
He can't count. That's what he said. So it was obviously his fault.
Oh yeah, sure.
But on the bright side, there's the dumpster, and there's my truck. This is the driveway. And the dumpster's getting loaded, and me and Isaac are doing the tiles, so I'm happy. But it's kind of hard to cut these tiles, I'm not gonna lie. I hate these tiles, but they're not too bad. All right, I got a phone call, I gotta go. everything's done. It's the end of a fun project. Very lengthy, fun project. Everything looks good. I'm excited to go home. Pavers are done. Bronx will be back eventually. Hopefully not soon for this problem. Everything looks nice. Everything looks clean. We even threw some water down on the roof to see what it would look like. But thanks guys for following along. Catch you guys in the next one.